He's always kusala. All right. Good evening. Dharma greetings to all the venerable monks. We don't have nuns now. They are busy. And Dharma greetings to our lay devotees who are here on Zoom platform and also who are joining our Facebook and YouTube live. So let us begin our bi-weekly sutra discussion by paying respect and homage to the Buddha. So let us recite Namo Tassa 8 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. I pay my homage to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened Buddha. Dear Venerable Mahasangha, dear friends in Dhamma, so today we are having the bi-weekly sutra discussion session 72. So 2 weeks ago we had 71 sessions, and today we are having the session number 72. It is such a great joy to have this bi-weekly discussion with all our venerable monks and nuns and the lay people. And it gives me great joy to receive some feedbacks from people from different countries who are greatly appreciating our effort. So before we get into our discussion on the chosen theme, I would like to introduce the venerable monks who are joining from different cities. So today we have Venerable Bhante Kamalasuri. He is joining the discussion from Minnesota, USA. And then we have Venerable Digale Somavangsha. He's joining the discussion from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And then we have Venerable Trudeau. He's joining the discussion from Florida, USA. In fact, he was here last week and he visited me. It was such a great joy to see you, Venerable Trudeau. Thank you for coming. And next we have Venerable Bhante Jayasara. He's joining the discussion from today from the Indonesian Buddhist temple in New York City, USA. And then we have Venerable Bhante Kusala. Actually, we are very happy to have you after, I think, some weeks. You were on a mission to Sri Lanka and also in India, Rishikesh. Some pictures and videos you have shared with us. It looks very rich spiritual tradition, and we are hoping to have a personal discussion about your experience in the Rishikesh with a group of people from the West. And then we have Venerable Shanta Sobana. He is joining the discussion from Los Angeles, California, USA. So do we have any? Oh, we have Venerable Bhante Nandaloka. I don't see him, but he's here. So he's joining the discussion from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And then we have some lay devotees here on Zoom platform. So I would like to welcome all of you to this bi-weekly sutra discussion. And we also would like to welcome our friends who are watching this discussion on Facebook and YouTube Live. So I have a very, very kind request from all of you. If you like, please feel free to share this program in your social media timeline for the great benefit of your friends, colleagues, family members, or your followers. I think it's always good to share Dharma with everyone for the great benefit of all. And in fact, Dharma is a unique gift, and if we can give this gift of Dharma to people, I think their life will be full of light. So last week we had our bi-weekly discussion on a very beautiful discourse of the Buddha known as the Udakupama Sutta. In this sutta points out 7 types of individuals, and we had a very lengthy discussion. And those who missed that discussion, and if you would like to know, or if you're interested in knowing the 7 types of individuals and who they are and how they become such an individual and what causes them to become such an individual, I would like to encourage you to watch that program on YouTube channel or Facebook. So today we are going to have another beautiful discussion. This is on the sutta known as the Ambalattika Rahulovada Sutta of the Majjhima Nikaya, and we have titled this discussion as the mirror simile for self-transformation. What is the purpose of this mirror reflection? So before we get into the discussion in detail, I would like to invite Bhante Kusala to give us the summary of that sutta, and after that, and of course, I would be very happy to give the opportunity to all of you to present your ideas, perspectives, your thoughts. So, Venerable Bhante Kusala from Boston, USA.
Thank you, Bhante. Namami Sangham, dear venerable ones. Great to be back and great to join this discussion again. And also you have picked a very nice teaching. This, I think, is a manual that is laid down for monks, nuns, lay men and lady men for learning and continuous reflection. I think this may have become a recital sutta that they often recited, and that it is organized in a systematic way. And this is found in middle length discourses of the Buddha. So the sutta number is number 61. And the Buddha was living at Rajagaha at Veluvana. The Kalandaka Nivapa is where the Buddha lived. It is called the Squirrel Sanctuary, where the Buddha lived, and his son, Rahula, apparently according to the commentary, Rahula was only 7 when the Buddha gave this instruction to Rahula. So Rahula has lived at what they call Mango Stone, Ambalattika, That is how the name Ambalattika Rahulavada has come, because there are several other Rahula Suttas, especially the greater discourse to Rahula, and several other Rahula Suttas. So maybe to distinguish this sutta from them, this sutta has Ambalattika Rahulavada as its name. So when the Buddha was approaching to where Rahula was, Rahula prepared a seat and showed veneration and even washed the feet of the Buddha. And the Buddha deliberately left a bit of water in that pot and used it as a parable to teach something to Rahula. So I invite you all to visualize a pot that has very little water. And this pot that has very little water is a monk who is intending to tell a lie. And that means he's not completely a monk. He has very little monkness in him. That is how the Buddha began this teaching. So the first parable is using that pot in various ways. Pot turned upside down and that little water thrown away. And so these various ways were used to indicate that there's very little samanya, monkness in that monk who intentionally tells lies. So the Buddha's first attempt is to make sure that Rahula always, tells the truth, no matter what circumstances he's faced with. That's very important for all of us. It doesn't matter what we are dealing with. When we tell the truth, it is so liberating. If we tell a lie, then there's guilt and shame and self-blame, especially from oneself. And you have to deal with that on your own. And so intentionally telling lies can become a habit for that person. And there is another parable that is about an elephant in the sutta. This elephant, the elephants have a way of hiding its trunk in the mouth. It's like drinking water using the trunk, and it's hiding the trunk in the wall for its own safety. If the elephant is hiding the trunk and fighting in the war, the guardians of the elephant know that this elephant um, is protecting its tongue, and if the elephant is not hiding the trunk, the elephant can be destructive and can get in trouble. So this parable is used, as I understand, is a way that when you are telling lies, you are actually inflicting trouble on yourself, and you are on your way to get destroyed. You can look at the discourse perhaps and analyze it in a way that works for you. But that is how I understood it. If I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me. And in the other part of the sutta, it is talking about another parable. It's about the mirror, continuously asking us to reflect on our verbal, bodily, and mental actions. And when you reflect on them, that if it is beneficial to yourself, if it is beneficial to somebody else, or both. If it is harmful to yourself, then you can know it by that mirror simile. Mirror is, the Buddha is asking a simple question: what is the mirror used for? And Rahula says it is for reflection. And the Buddha then says, Rahula, you continuously need to observe. Buddha then says, Rahula, you continuously need to observe your actions. And that is the only way that those realized ones in the past um, did their purification of the mind, continuously reflecting on one's own verbal, mental, and bodily actions. And this reminded me of the story from Gandhi. It is also ascribed to some other teachers in India, but the story came to me as a Gandhi story when this mother went to Gandhi because this child, actually the grandmother, went to Gandhi and said, "This child lost his mom and dad, so I'm looking after this child. I'm the grandma, and this child has a bad habit that is eating too much sugar. So I've taken this child to doctors, and doctors have told him to stop eating sugar because it reflects badly on his health. But the child did not listen to the doctors. And Gandhi apparently said, come back in 1 month. And the mother, came back in 1 month. And at that point, Gandhi said, child, um, don't eat any sugar. And the child has had so much devotion to Gandhi, and the child stopped eating sugar. And I think this can puzzle anyone, and it puzzled the grandma. And grandma asked, why didn't you tell him to stop eating sugar last month? And Gandhi said, I had the problem of eating sugar myself. I had to learn to stop it before I can give instructions to the child to stop eating sugar. You can place Buddha in the position of Gandhi and see how when the Buddha is, in perfect conduct himself and gives these instructions to Rahula, his son, and it's not actually father-son relationship anymore. It is a good teacher who is, who has, purified his own bodily, mental, and verbal conduct and gives instructions by looking directly at the eyes to his student, to his pupil, and it kind of lands directly at the center of the heart of the student. And that is what I could see in this sutta. So let's talk about it, and I like to learn from venerable monks and nuns. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante Kusala, for giving us the summary, the essence of this discourse, Ambalattika Rahulovada Sutta. So we are going to have a very sincere, open discussion about this. The sutta outlines there are two major parts. One is about the lying, the other one is about the reflection. So, and look at those the similes, the parables found in the sutta, and what does it tell us, and how can we apply that teaching into our life. And also, thank you so much for bringing up the Gandhi's story, and I think that's I have read that story a couple of times, and I think it's also very powerful. So now, why do we have to do this reflection? What is the purpose of the mirror? What does it do to us? And why do we have to do it? And what are we trying to achieve through this mirror reflection? So these are some general questions that I'm putting So I see Venerable Jayasara from New York raised his hand. Venerable Jayasara, what's in your mind?
Good, thank you, Venerable Mahasangha and friends. So this is a very profound and important sutta on a wide variety of levels, especially the simile of the mirror. Coincidentally, I was teaching Sunday school for the Indonesian children. Yesterday, we were going over right speech, and I taught them the simile of the mirror. So this simile, actually, there were some 7-year-olds and young children that really took to the simile of the mirror. They liked it a lot. But this is a very important, those of you who've heard me talk on here before, I kind of really focus and really feel drawn to suttas that have very practical teachings. And this is one of those things where you read this sutta, and I did many years ago. I read this sutta and I was like, oh, I can put this into practice right now. Before I do an action, while I'm doing an action, after I'm doing an action, is this for my benefit and the benefit of others, or my harm and the harm of others? And this also points to a very important thing, because especially in talking to many Westerners and people who are learning about Buddhism and have lots of questions about karma, and they'll say, well, what if you do an action and you didn't have the intention, but for it to turn out bad, and it did? Is that bad karma? And honestly, you would have to say, probably not, no. But the Buddha, in the simile of the mirror, accounts for this, right? So you started out doing something, you had good intentions, it looked like it was going to be a good thing. And then while you're doing it, though, if you're reflecting, you realize, oh, this is not good. This is actually causing harm. I should stop this, right? Because of mindfulness, because of your awareness, your reflection, you actually then can kind of make an intentional choice to say, I realize this is causing harm now, and now I want to stop or do something else. So this is very important. Whether you're worried about your karma or worried about, the results of your actions beyond your karma, it's very important to do this reflection so that you understand, yes, I might have the best intentions in the world. One of my favorite sayings is not a Buddhist saying, actually, and quite literally, it doesn't work in Buddhism, but in life, it makes a lot of sense. And the saying is, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now, according to Buddhism, no, this is true. You don't go to hell because with good intentions.
Yeah.
But what this means is we have lots of good intentions, but we're not awakened ones. We don't have full wisdom. So even though we have good intentions, we can do lots of bad things, or things that we might have thought were not bad. But then later on, we realize, I shouldn't have did it this way. And taking on the simile of the mirror as a daily practice, right? Before I say something, those of you who have worked in like carpentry and different skills where you have to measure and cut things, there's a famous kind of motto. It says, measure twice, cut once. And so I took that motto and I say, using the simile of the mirror, I say, think twice, act once. And so you're reflecting before you act. That's the wonderful message of the simile of the mirror, that you're reflecting before you act. You're reflecting while you're acting. You're reflecting after you act. And this is very good mindfulness practice. And so then you have a full understanding of your action, right? This is what I thought about this action before. This is what I thought while I was doing it. This is what I thought after. And that wisdom of doing those reflections and seeing the results of your actions, well, leads to more skillful action in the future. So I highly encourage everybody, if you don't do this already, say, okay, this is a tool in my toolbox now every day when I'm engaging with other people, when I'm at work, when I'm whatever, driving, talking, doing anything. Taking this simile of the mirror. And it's not just for children, for 7-year-olds, it works for 70-year-olds as well. Yeah. Very wonderful Buddhist teaching.
Yeah, I think, thank you very much, Jayasari. It works for everyone. And it doesn't have to be just a monk or a Buddhist monk or a lay person or a monk or Buddhist. I think generally we human beings have this tendency to engage in misconducts. And then later on, I think people really regret and they suffer big from this guilt. Oh my goodness, what did I do? What did I say? What did I do it? Why did I say it? I wish I could not have done it. I wish I could have said that. Even I think, a lot of temples actually got robbed this summer in Canada, especially in Ontario, across GTA. Even our temple, when we were away for a lunch service, and these robbers broke into the temple, and I think one of them, but we don't know exactly. We assume that one of those robbers just dropped by after a couple of weeks. I think we were on news, the news channels were talking about this, and maybe he felt so guilty, and he rushed to the temple, and he was talking to the monks so fast, and within 1 minute, and he just put some money on the table outside, and then he just, flew away. I think maybe he felt bad, he felt guilty. Oh my God, we robbed money from the temples and from the monks, and so maybe he could have done this before doing this action, right? So he could have maybe after realizing that, maybe he did this mirror reflection. Oh my goodness, I did a bad karma. I will have to face the music. So maybe he returned his portion of the money back to the temple. And thank you very much, Jai sir. So next I see Venerable Shanta Sobana from Los Angeles. Venerable Shanta Sobana, what's in your mind?
Oh, thank you very much, Venerable sirs. And actually, robbing temples, like it's a very, it's very normal when it comes to the history of the Buddhism, and always the temples kind of like a very targeted place. And the monks also. It happened from the ancient time. We know that, like especially the Shaolin tradition, when they developed it, one of the reasons is always the thieves came to temple. And at the same time, there were some stories that there was a monk, and the robbers captured him and put him in the place. And so by the time all the thieves became followers of the monk, so please for robs, if they come to temple by the time, maybe they start to think about it. Yeah. So somehow when it comes to this sutra is a kind of like it's a sutra have this quantum leap, kind of like quantum shift. See that Venerable Ravula is a kind of like a very little monk, small monk, but still it gives the deeper understanding how he can transform. Because when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, that it always, the very purpose of this all, bring the clarity, and through that clarity bring the transformation and experience the very best version of us to attain the Nibbana. So then the sutras, even though Buddha teach to many different people, that out of the compassion and the clarity that what the Buddha taught is very simple, and it's a direct teachings. It is not a puzzle, like there is no double meaning when it comes to the Buddha sutras. So it's directly, and so whoever understand this, it gives the direct, clear understanding how we can have the self transformation. Because when it comes to the society, one of the very difficult part. So if we go to the sutra, that here the talk about the bodily action, verbal action, and mental action, and if we have the ability to reflect on ourselves and look into deeper ourselves and see what we have done, so it give a kind of like a understanding and to get the responsibility to ourselves. And at the same time, it doesn't mean there are the kind of like, because sometimes people think when it comes to this spiritual path, oh, we should not do any bad things. No, anything can happen. Because we are on a journey and we are not kind of like attain to the enlightenment. Until we get into the enlightenment, of course, we all have five hindrances. So then we may go through mistakes, but understanding it and step back and kind of like ourselves, if we purify and have the effort to become more better, is the important thing. So here in the sutra, this is a very important thing. In the beginning, Buddha said that what are the consequences and what are the result that we can gain if we do this. But the important thing here, in case if we have done like a bodily action and verbal action, what we should do. So we have to be open. We have to be open, not for everybody, because truth not for everybody. So there should be that in the sutra that it say that how it say in the sutra that akusalang idang kaya kammang dukkha vipakanti eva rupante raula kaya kammang sattaritva vinyusuva sabrahmacharisu dese tabbang vicharitabang uttanika tabbang desetva vivaritva uttanikantva. I think samvarang apajjitabbang. So that's me. So we have to be open in front of the wise people. So as example here in the sutra, in the translation it say we have to be open in front of the Buddha or in front of the elders, like as monks when we do our vinaya, that means when we purify ourselves with if we have done something, we go to the elders and we say we have done this, and so when we be open in front of others and tell what happens, and that is a part of the purification rather than hiding. So if we have done something, if we can be open and we accept what we have done, and at the same time we take the responsibility and determine ourselves not to do it again. So that doesn't mean that there's nothing going to happen. No, maybe things will happen. And why I say this kind of like a quantum leap, because sometimes when we go to the prison, when we go to the society, especially when we have this with the police, sometimes we talk with these young people, and they have done things. In the beginning, the police may ask, tell the truth. And sometimes they don't tell the truth. they try to hide it. But then they have to go to the court, and even sometimes they hide things. They go to the prison, and then by the time, maybe when they find the truth exactly what happened, after this all, they get punished, they go to the jail, and they spend so much hard time, then finally they accept what they have done. But if they accept it from the beginning, and they don't need to go through that all this hard time. But people don't do that most of the time. Even though they do things, they don't accept it. So if the person has ability, if something happen, if the bodily mistakes happen, verbal mistakes happen, and then they need to find somebody, and they have to tell what happens, and then accept the truth and try to do their best to not to do it again. So, and at the same time, and how in the conventional world nowadays, what happens sometimes, even when we tell the truth, sometimes as parents, maybe when if their children do something, and the parents come and tell, okay, tell me the truth, tell me the truth. They keep asking, and even children tell the truth. What happens? Most of time, parents punish them. Why you have done? So once the children tell the truth, you should not punish them, because then what will happen? Next time they're going to tell lies. So here when it comes to this sutra, it is very important what the Buddha never punish if anybody tells the truth. In the community of the Sangha, and in the history of the Sasana, we have seen if anybody tells the truth, they not get punished. That is very important. But here today, that most of time, even we tell the truth, sometimes people punish them. So another thing is that how we can apply today life, especially when it comes to bodily action, verbal action, you can go to somebody and tell that. But in the sutra, it says, for the mental action, you don't need to tell to anybody. Mental action, you have to reflect on it yourself, and you have to criticize yourself. It is not a profitable action, and it is an unskillful action, and then you have to do the opposite side of it. So at the same time, when it comes to this self-evaluation and self-reflection, it's not easy sometimes. So that's why that each other need to help. When somebody go through that difficult time period, or if someone has not matured with this ethical practice, the other people need to have the compassion towards it. And another important thing here, we have to tell the truth, but that doesn't mean you have to tell whatever that yes or no, or it's not. You don't need to be naked in front of the society. You have to understand first before you tell. Even it is the truth. When it comes to the sutra, the second part of it, even if it is the truth, if it is give the kind of like something that cause the pain or suffering to yourself and the others, you should not tell that. So, but what happens today, sometimes even the monks, we have seen in Sri Lanka. So they tell whatever the truth. It's not kind of like just telling yes and no, I have done this, so I didn't do. No. We have to be very careful with the words, because the communication build up the connection in between the society. It is very important. But we have to understand when we say something, it is so. That's why basically when it comes to the very ethics of the journalism, it says when it comes to the principles of the news, it says, even if it is a news, it is the truth, but you should not tell it if the society get disappointed out of that news. So that's why still it is against for the communicate this journalist ethics. If you show a kind of like a dead body, or even if you bring a news regarding if the people get mad or the angry, they don't tell that. So then we have to be very careful, even though it is truth, that if it is bring any kind of pain to yourself or others, if it is bring the suffering to yourself or the others, you have to be very careful about it. That doesn't mean you have to tell lies. No. There are many ways that you can tell things without bringing harm to yourself or to others or the society. So this self-reification is a method, and at the same time there was a story. It's called the dirty wise mirror. The dirty wise mirror. There was a mother, and she come every day in front of the mirror, and she look at her face, and she that enjoy. And then there was a little girl, her daughter, and she come to the mirror, and it looked like very dirty, dusty. And she asked the mother, how you look through this mirror? Because it is very dusty. It's very dark. So the mother told her, so you clean it, and then you will see. So this girl was beautiful. And she was start to clean it little by little, and she get mad, disappointed, angry. And the mother told, don't get angry, don't get disappointed. Be calm in yourself and start to clean it little by little. So somehow she became matured and young, and at the same time every day she used to clean this mirror little by little. And by the time when she became adult and she started to show the beauty through the mirror, and at the same time she got purified inside her with the being patient and become skillful and putting attention and have the awareness within what she do. And then she got married, and by the time she had a daughter, and then the mother, now she's a mother. So she came to the mirror and she get the exactly very clear full view through the mirror. Now one day came to her and asked, oh mother, you look at this mirror, but it is look like very dirty, dark, dusty. So the mother understood the method, and mother told the daughter, so you start to clean the mirror. So by the time you will see the very clear reflection. So that means when we purify ourselves, so the very reflection of the world going to change. So otherwise, then sometimes we see things dirty, dusty, cloudy, dark. Sometimes it is not the world. Maybe it is our inner quality. So it is very important that having this quantum shift, that means rather than go through these all difficulties in life, and if we can have it within our own mind, and our self-life become more easy. Another thing is, through this sutra it says, being open is a method sometimes to become purified. It is very difficult for us because we have the nature to be very close. When we become very close, our egocentric, self-centered mind becomes stronger. But when we become open, and it is one way, we become purified, and at the same time, it is show us a way, and it's kind of like open the door to get out of this self-centered mind. So that is what I see through this sutra. I think it is a very beautiful sutra, and thank you for giving this opportunity to share this.
Yeah, thank you, Venerable Shanta Sobana. Actually, you have brought up a lot of ideas, thoughtful ideas, and there's something to deeply contemplate. And I think the mirror simile is very, very deep. I think that is the very reason why I have titled this discussion as the mirror simile for self transformation. Is This is all about us. Like, I think even we suffer, or we go through a lot of struggles, of pains, especially the psychological, emotional pains and sufferings, due to what we say and what we do. And when we look at this mirror, of course, everybody uses the mirror. Every woman, every girl has a mirror, a small mirror in her bag. Even the man also does the same. And why? Because they want to take a look at your face, even when they put up the outfits. They always look at the color, whether it's matching with the pants or shirt, and etc. etc. And if it is not matching, then they remove. They try to match, and they look at their face very with a great interest, and lovingly, passionately. And if they see even little dirt in the face, they try to remove it immediately. Even for me, I don't know whether you noticed, I developed a kind of dark spot here, and I did some treatment, so it got reduced. And it also kind of, when people notice that, people, oh, Bante, this is getting bigger and bigger. Is it cancerous? You should see a doctor. You should see a dermatologist. But I kind of ignored. But then people kept asking this. Also I looked at myself in the mirror in the washroom, and then I realized, wow, it actually is getting bigger. People are concerned. So I really wanted to, remove that dark part of my face. And so then I was also deeply reflecting on this mirror simile pointed out by the Buddha. And so now imagine we do the same thing, same for our own mind. And this is how I think we can bring not only self transformation, we also can transform the community, the nation, the world. And I think this mirror reflection is good for everyone. So thank you so much for bringing up all these points. And I say, of course, we can continue to have more discussion. As we continue, it will shed more light. So next, I see Venerable Tridao raising his hand. So Venerable Tridao, what's in your mind?
Salutations to all of the most venerables here. I apologize, my dad walking back and forth. I'm at this office, and it's the only place where I can place all of the computers. So this very powerful simile and sutta, as it directly relates to living the truth, and how when we don't live the truth about ourselves, it opens a very big, wide, and deep door for mental illness, also known as pathological liars. I think a lot of people are aware of that, and we've used that terminology here a lot in the United States. People who lie incessantly, never stop lying, and can never get the truth out of people. And what is of clinical concern is, when they start telling a lie and then they actually believe it. They truly actually believe it deep down inside, that this is in fact is true to them. So to the point where they are blind to themselves, blind to the lies that they have manufactured in their mind, So it's a it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing from a clinical abnormal psychology standpoint. Living the truth can be quite liberating because this is who you are. But I wanted to back up a little bit and talk about the anatomy of a lie. What makes a person lie? And the dependent origination, the links of influence that lead one. So, but by the time it gets to this point or where we are today, that means that the lie has been going on for quite some times. I'm very well aware of lies that take place within families, family systems and unit. I'm well aware of lies that happens at work, school, work, home, balance, and so on. But it's, my thing has always been to trace the root cause of that unwholesomeness or defilement within us. And the, trying to go back as early as you can remember, who lied to you first? Where did you get this lying thing from? Was it from your mom? Was it from your dad? You know, your whole life you had to cover something up. Why? Why did you have to cover this up? To protect who? To protect you? To protect other family members? Um, it's the root cause could be addiction, trauma, or abuse. But now you all have Buddhism, the awareness of it, and how running away from the pain, running away from the truth. Where has that landed you? And the awareness of that brings this up to the surface slowly. And doing something about it and decide that I can't carry this burden anymore. It's very mentally taxing to manufacture a lie. It's very mentally taxing to think of meticulously a lie. Where were you last night? What did you do? And who did you do it with? Let me share with you a very fun story. On my way out of the airport, visiting Venerable Sarnapala, you see, I came there with an intention. It was a pure intention that like you got to go there with a goal. You can't not like get on a plane and don't know what you're gonna say to the most venerable and not what's gonna happen. As soon as I got off the plane, immigration checks me out. The first layer of immigration checks me out. And they ask me this question, and I will ask everyone this question: you here for business or for pleasure? Why are you here? And I told the first officer, I'm going to Oman. I was very, I just, it was a very direct question. It was just a very direct. You can't lie to these people. I said, I was stumbling. I was like, but I'm gonna go to a monastery and I don't know, talk to the abbot there, vice abbot. I look very suspicious and sketchy because they caught me off guard. Then I go past the second. And I did not know that there was a second layer of immigration that will screen you. So it was a gentleman. I would describe him from Browntown. So anyone in the Toronto area knows Browntown, right? Very ethnically diverse region geographically. And so I learned the term Browntown. So he's got the thing on his head, and he approached me in uniform and he says, "How are you? Where are you going and why are you here?" And he was like very close up to me, and I said, now I know what, I'm gonna go to a monastery like in the next hour. Then he let me go very quickly. As I crossed Buffalo, New York, same thing, right? um I like being confronted. It's an awesome thing, just because it reminds a person, what is your intention? These are good people trying to figure out who you are. Why are you here? You here to do harm? You here to do drugs? You here not to keep the precept? Why are you here? And so hopefully, I know that certain of my talks makes people feel very seen, but it is designed that way, because nothing good happens if you start with a lie, continue with a lie, and the continuous anticipation of this lie in the forthcoming days to your loved ones. So I would invite everyone to examine the simile, to practice the dependent origination from the context of looking at the links of influence. Who were you with? What happened? Who did you do it with? Why did you feel the motivation to lie? Why did this lie sustain itself for so long? And the start of cracking the door open, of living the truth and letting the light in, and being to confront in the presence of another, which my recommendation is to find a good, qualifying, authentic monk, and opening up your story and to be intimate with the monk and said, look, my whole life I've been a mess. My whole life I've told lies to people. I don't know where to start. You know, I just want to put my whole life out there and see where, if you could see things that I could not see. In psychology, we are blind to ourselves and we are blind to the things that we do. But a good, qualifying, authentic spiritual teacher, such as a Buddhist monk, can help you interpret your life, where you've been, and the motivation behind the lie. All this is a really good thing because you're starting the process to purify your karma. You're starting the process. Not a lot of people talk about, not a lot of people go deep into the anatomy or the science of a lie, the manufacturing of a lie, the sustainability of a lie. But you know, I hope that everyone would take the simile, sit on it, journal, write about it. Um, as I see brighter futures for humans, this world needs to have a moral revolution, meaning that we need to start keeping the precept more. Never tired of keeping the precept, and never tired of telling other people what the precept is all about, and to spread the goodness of gift of safety and honesty. If this world was built on honesty from the beginning to the middle and subsequently the end, we wouldn't have wars. We have wars because of dishonesty. We have dishonesty in the government sector. We have dishonesty in the corporation sector. We got dishonesty in the medical system. We got dishonesty in the legal system. I know this. I've worked in it. So therefore, each person have a chance to change. If you change yourself, you will infect other people by, you know, when you live the truth, they can see that glow and they realize they will see something in themselves and realize that, well, you know, George used to lie and he's stopped lying. And now there's something different about him. He's happier. He's a magnet for all of us. And maybe I should re-examine myself. So with a more honest world out there, it becomes a more happier and more trustful, honest, integrity, courage. These are some of the life skills to live by. And we need more examples of that. Thank you for having me. And it's my continuous encouragement for all of our viewers to examine the Dhamma and practice the Dhamma, and living the truth shall set you free. So.
Thank you, Venerable Trudeau. I think that is the very reason why Buddha encouraged his disciples to do two things. Either you talk about the Dharma, you discuss the Dharma, or just observe the noble silence. So I think here, of course, we are discussing Dharma, and through the discussion of Dharma, we can minimize not only the personal suffering, but also the sufferings of the world. And by observing the noble silence and doing this mirror reflection, we can not only become happy and peaceful and guilt-free, at the same time, we also can bring happiness, peace, freedom to the world, to the society. I think the whole purpose of this teaching, the mirror, is to transform oneself first, then we can bring the through you and through your honesty, through your truth, we also can bring the same everywhere we go. I think this is very important, the teaching and the reflection that we all can do. So thank you so much, Venerable Trudeau, for your perspective. And I think one thing that you pointed out, how even the governments and the global politics, we know that, we who is who are speaking the truth, who are speaking the lies, and in fact that creates a lot of fears, and at the end, and of course, a lot of people get killed, a lot of people suffer. And if we can speak the truth, if we can do this mirror reflection, I believe we can minimize a lot of problems in the world. So next we see Venerable Somavangsha from Vancouver. Venerable Somavangsha, what's in your mind?
Most venerable monks and other Dhamma friends, I would also like to explain something about regarding this sutra. Some people think telling lies is enjoyable. Some people think that is an enjoyable action, but that consequence is very bad. I remember a very beautiful story. It's a very famous story. There was a cowboy. One day he told lie to the people. There was a tiger. Tiger came to the village, and after the people came to him, he laughed at them. Few times he did this bad action. Eventually, tiger came, but people did not come to the place. So that is why, according to this sutra, Buddha explained we must refrain from telling lies. As well, Buddha explained we can get few benefits from telling truth. We can get a lot of powers, and other thing is we can get some benefits. We can get some lot of things, benefits, and people believe us, and we can go to we can address to the we can go in front of the people to tell something, make a speech also. If I say lies, if someone invite me to tell a speech about the consequence of telling lies, I cannot do that. If first I must refrain from telling lies. That is Buddha explained in this sutra with three similes. One water ball simile, elephant simile, and mirror simile. Always we use a mirror to see our face and our body. We know every time piece of mirror we bring with us. When we go to somewhere, we see our face to correct everything. Like this, Buddha told us, we must correct our verbal actions. We must correct our verbal action. That is very beautiful thing. That is why Buddha told, always tell the truth. Tell the truth. That
TikTok.
is,
Thank you.
sometimes we benefits are we can get some lot of benefits with telling truth. We know one day King Bimbisara was nearby a river. There were so many people there, and he told people, if someone can bring this water to upstream, can someone to do this action? There was a lady who was a prostitute. She told to king, I can do this. She did that. Everybody was amazing because how this lady, this prostitute, did this action. She told to king, I did only when I promised to a guy, I never promised to another one on that day. If he did not come to me, I do not promise to another one. That is my truthness. That is why I bless with this and did this action. That is why Buddha told always tell the truth. That is very beautiful thing. We know sometimes family problems are occurring because of telling lies. We know some country to country some problems, some various problems, various troubles we have to face with these verbal bad actions. That is my opinion, Venerable Sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Venerable Somawangsha, for sharing your thoughts with us. I said this is the first time actually you are presenting your ideas. I think I highly encourage you to join. I know you joined the discussion and to speak up your mind. You know, this is going to help you a lot. And of course, the first story that you told us is very famous. Everybody read that story in their childhood. The village boy telling the people, you know, there's a tiger's here to kill us. The people come out, villagers come out to save him, rescue him from the tiger. But then he started laughing. Oh, there's no tiger. Second time he did the same thing. People also came out second time, and he did the same thing in the third time. Again, there was no tiger. Fourth time, actually, the tiger showed up, and he asked for help, but nobody believed him. So the tiger, you know, killed the boy. So this is what happens. I think anyone who keeps telling lies and loses the value, the honesty, and eventually invite a lot of troubles and invite his own death. So I think Buddha knew about this, and that's why he was teaching the Venerable Rahula, you know, to speak the truth and also to do this mirror reflection. There are a lot of consequences of telling lies, and of course there are a lot of benefits for speaking the truth. And in fact, we all are practicing Dharma for that purpose. So thank you so much, Venerable Somawangsha, for sharing your thoughts with us. And I see Venerable Tridao raising his hand again. So what's in your mind?
Your students asked me, and I'm glad I recorded it. One of the students asked, is it okay to lie? When is it okay to lie? And I responded quite quick, and I caught it, and I had to save myself in your presence, which I was sweating bullets, by the way, because here we are teaching how to keep the precepts, and you know, my job is to define the middle way so that students don't run away. So I have previously said, you want to drink, you can drink. Just don't drink to the point where you don't know what planet you're on, right? So that would be appropriate for the middle way. Then when it came to the students, and when they asked, can I lie? And I said, yes. And I said, but And then, students of this age are very smart, and they can also use what I explain to them as evidence to back up their claim. And they could run back and say, this monk told me I could lie. And this is why you caught me in this lie, because he told me I could lie. But I was very comprehensive and effective at explaining. And basically, I said the only time that you could lie is to, like, save a life, is if you can save a life, if you need to save someone's life, of which the Dalai Lama himself, he had to save his own life, and that's why he had to go undercover, took off his robes at a very young age. He was a wanted man. He was obviously a fugitive. But so I told the students that, yeah, if you had to save a life, now you have to justify it to people, and we got to justify it with 12 other people. That we call that the jury in the court system. If you had to do this and explain to 12 people that don't know who you are, and if they agree with you, oh, then I guess the rest of us will probably agree with you. But if you cannot justify yourself in front of 12 people why you told this lie, and if it was harmful, and it was not beneficial, and it did not fall under right speech, the four elements: is it true, is it necessary, is the timing right, is it beneficial for all parties involved, then it becomes a violation. The other thing is, this is my little secret for everybody, which is, how do we know the truth about people? So my great professor, Dr. Andrew, Ecker College, says, oh, it's very simple. And of course, I love professors because, we get to ask these questions. They have quick answers for us. So I like to be on the other side of the chair too. And I think I asked her that once. I said, how do you get the truth out of people? This was a lady of 25 years of clinical experience. You can't go any higher than a professor in life. And she says, simple. In order to get the truth, two things. What they say needs to be congruent with what they do. And subsequently, if they walk the talk, then that's how you get the truth. So in essence, the additional contribution here is, you all can see that it's very taxing to come up with a lie. And in criminology, you have to remember the lies that you just said, or else you're going to be caught in the lies by other skillful people and by detectives and cops. I mean, obviously, if you're running around telling lies, I'm pretty sure you're not living a righteous life. Quite sketchy. And so, and they have ways, they have interview techniques where they will ask the question over and over again, the same question in different ways, to see if that you come up with the right answer. Sometimes they might let you rest for a couple hours and then wake you up and look at you dead in the eyes and ask you the same questions again. So, and like I said before, it's very liberating, and it will pay off in the end. You see, my whole life, I was a judicial officer in the courtroom at like 18. So I had to learn to be honest, and how I was trained. And even before I was trained, I already realized the consequences, that this was a high paying job and I'm in front of a judge. My face was so young. The judge actually said, "Excuse me, son, are you supposed to be in juvenile court? Because you look a little young to be in here." And I said, "No, Your Honor. I just turned 18 and I work for you now." But I had this wise fear that, whatever happens in this courtroom, it's recorded. I have to swear myself in. And later down my life, my career of 18 years, when I'm talking to professionals, to lawyers and doctors, that the accumulated integrity, I'm telling you, if you lie your whole life, half your life, people could just pick it up, just the energy that this person that is not honest. But if you live your life of integrity, when you meet people in a very short amount of time, and you need to make your case, and you need to get things done, and you need something from them, or you need to just progress, I'm telling you, these people know, they can feel it. And it's the way how they feel about it, that, and if they like you, your whole life will become so much better. And if they don't like you because they can pick up the fact that you are a person that is an artist of lying, then your life's going to be rough and tough down the road. But yeah, I just wanted to inspire other people, and it has to start with, first and foremost, my own walk in this life and how difficult it is. You know, like when Venerable Sarnapala introduced me to his students, and Venerable Sarnapala said, "Look, this man's got 1 million followers on TikTok." And the it's like 28,000 on YouTube and all these other stuff. Like, I am in direct examination of the people that I serve. Okay, you can imagine my face on there for millions of people to see. And what happened if I ran around my half my life, majority of my life, lying to people? How do you all think that would turn out for 1 million people when they found out certain things, right? So I hope to inspire all of you, first and foremost, by and through my own change. Yes, I did lie when I was younger, and I thought I was slick, and I thought that I could get away with it. Yeah, no. And I realized that I have to utilize my intelligence for the right reason. And subsequently, you do get caught. And subsequently, I did get caught, and I realized, well, the Dhamma is the way, period. The way, the truth, the light, and the ultimate truth. So yeah, hope you all rejoiced in all of that, and may you all be well, be happy. And I'd like to yield the floor back to Venerable Sarnapala.
Yeah, thank you, Venerable Tridel, for sharing more of your thoughts. In fact, I think even there are a lot of people who told me, actually, they lost a lot of privileges in their life, including the jobs, because of lying and not telling the truth. And how long can you lie? Maybe 1 month, 1 year, several years. One day you're going to get caught. That day you suffer. I said that's why in this sutta, the Buddha says, is it harmful to you? Is it harmful to others? Is it harmful to everyone? So this is how I think we do this mirror reflection in this mirror simile. That if it is harmful to you, harmful to others, harmful to everyone, then we had to think twice whether I should say this or do this or not. But if it is not harmful to you, to others, to everyone, then it's okay. It's very beneficial to everyone. So this is the essence of this mirror simile. And I actually would like to know from Venerable Bhante Kamalasuri from Minnesota. I know, Bhante Kamalasuri, you will mindfully, patiently listening to this conversation, what other monks are saying. And I know, Bhante Kamalasuri, you have a different way of thinking. The way you see certain things is very powerful. And of course, personally, I would like to hear your perspective. I'm pretty sure our audience are going to enjoy.
Yes, I was enjoying all of these ideas, and it is everybody nicely explained it. Then I was thinking about they are not the empty pots, all of the fulfilled pots are there. It is open always. Then I think everybody was explained perfectly the sutra, and I was thinking a little bit about, because I heard that word when Venerable Rahul, he was mentioned as a small monk, but actually it is because of we know the 7 years old boy and the small monk Samanera. But when the Buddha was attained to Nibbana, he also attained to Nibbana before a couple of months ago. Then at that time he was 52 years old mature monk. Yeah, that is a very interesting thing. And otherwise, here he was little bit, according to this sutra, he was in a forest area alone. I think at least after his 25th year, the age of 25th, he must stay alone because after his high ordination, at least 5 years, as a newly old high ordination monk, Upasampada monk, had to stay with the teachers. However, this time I think he was a very mature. And another thing is it is interesting. According to this sutra, there has been a mirror in his room. That was an interesting thing. Not only the Astapariskar, the mirror also. We have to think about that also. Then, when I was thinking about this, there is a famous interior designer called Vicky Foster. I think she's a little bit famous in USA. She says the same example in totally opposite way. She said the mirrors are the master of giving the illusion of the space. Yeah. Then we have to think about this idea. What is the normally the people how they think about this? The mirror. They try to give always illusion to the people. That is why they use mirror for that. Make a illusion. Yeah. Then Buddha asks us to use mirror to reflect on life and on mind, and to get in the understanding of the mind, and it is make as a path of Nibbana. So mirror is for the reflection. The here concept is the use in the mirror for illusion. And it is that is the thing. That's only I have to add. I was so enjoying the all of ideas.
But the counselor, could it also be a form of mindfulness practice, like the mirror?
Yes, because I can remember there is a Zen story about the one saying it is I think related to the Bodhidharma, and it is a long story. I don't want to take that much time now. The one person wrote in a blackboard in there is mirror. It has closed by dust. Yeah. Then the Bodhidharma went to there and he wrote in the down, there is no mirror, there is no dust. Yeah. Yeah. Then I think in mindfulness, mostly in mindfulness, we think the breathing practice and the walking meditation like that. That is the way the mindfulness. But I think in this sutra is the best example about the understanding about the mindfulness. Yeah. Be aware.
Yeah.
And reflects oneself.
Yeah. And also, I remember Bante Ji, the author of famous book Mindfulness in Plain English. One of his meditation instructions is like when you are doing mindful breathing, at that moment when you're breathing in, you have to be more mindful to see whether you're breathing in with greed or with anger or with jealousy, or with uh, distracted mind, or something like that, or free from distraction. Even you have to do the same thing when you're breathing out, and see how long you can do that. And we also could do the same thing while we are eating. Are we eating with the greed or craving or desire, or without craving, greed, and desire? So I think in the same way, like in day-to-day life, whatever we are doing or saying, like, is my verbal or physical action rooted in emotion, like negative emotions or positive emotions? So if we know that, oh my goodness, let's say if I'm looking at you, now am I looking at you with this attraction or wanting or something in mind, or without that? So I think this deep mindfulness practice, I find it kind of mirror similar practice, mirror reflection, to purify our mind and heart, so to transform our life.
Yeah, I think I like to add a little bit that because of our words, our thoughts and actions are the mirrors.
Yeah.
That reflects our own mind.
Yeah. Thank you. Venerable Shanta Sobala, did you have something in mind? We had 2 more minutes.
Yeah, actually, what I want to mention that when it come to our life, like when situations come sometimes, like as example, if there is a fire, we call fire department. When they come, they overtake the situation. And if we go to the emergency, and it doesn't matter what we think or what we want, sometimes the doctors overtake the situation. And if there is a kind of like a situation come, if we call police, when they come and they overtake the situation, like that, end of this all of us need to face for the karma. Because there are situations come, things go beyond our hand, karma going to overtake the situation. So in that very moment, especially like when we're going to die, the karma is going to overtake the situation. So then it is what we have done, and what we accumulated through our own intention, going to justify our journey. So it is very important for us to then know mind is the forerunner, mind is the chief, mind is the creator. So then we are responsible for our life.
Yeah.
We have that understanding always, we take care of our mind. If we can do that, there is no doubt inside us, because when it comes to hindrance, the doubt is something that give us a hard time. So this the very good word, as the Venerable Tidao mentioned, integrity, especially young people nowadays. It is very important to develop the integrity, and because nowadays we see people that much don't put attention to that. But if we develop the integrity in a conventional life, and at the same time in the spiritual world, it's going to become beneficial for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Venerable Shanta Sobana. And I think we all can do this mirror reflection practice for our own psychological, spiritual benefit. And it's not just the monks or the Buddhists. Anyone can do it for their own emotional, psychological, spiritual benefit. So today we have done amazing job, and by sharing this important teaching with others, and by discussing this important teaching, I think that shed more light. So this is our great joy. I think this is also what we call Dham Sabha Mandapa. So this is where we gather, and now imagine if Buddha were to be here. He could have been very happy to see, wow, my monks are discussing Dhamma. This is amazing. This is great. Okay, so today I don't know who would like to recite the Ovada Patimokkha verses. So those normally who do, they are not here today. But I would like to recite the Ovada Patimokkha verses. We all can do together. Sabba papassa akaranang kusalassa upasampada sacitta pariyodapanang etang buddhana sasanang khanti paramang tapotitikha Nibbanang paramang vadanti buddha nahi pabbajito paropaghati samano hoti parang vihethayanto anupavado anupaghato Patimokhe cha sangvaro Mattanyuta cha bhattasming Pantan cha sayanasanang Adhichitte cha ayoga Etang buddhana sasanang Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So thank you so much for joining the discussion today, and I feel very happy, and all of you had an amazing job. May all the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha be with you, continue to be with you. May Devas continue to protect and guard all of you with the divine blessings for your health and safety. And Sabbe Satta Bhavantu Sukhitatta, may all sentient beings be well, happy, and peaceful. So, with this in mind, I would like to conclude today's 72nd Dhamma discussion, and I'm hoping to see you all in 2 weeks' time. So, good night from Canada. Bye bye.
Okay, I'd like to answer some questions on TikTok. I know I've been very neglectful monk to my viewers and followers. Now, one of the questions that, here we go. A person named Go Right On Bet asked, what's the difference between concentration and mindfulness? Love it. I'm going to make a TikTok out of it. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah. I have clients walking in, so just bear with me. They're gonna sit right behind me real quick. All right, so a concentration, right? What we know about concentration is we have to really concentrate on something that we do. Try to like focus in on that thing. And mindfulness is being aware and paying attention to what's going on. If you practice mindfulness, it will help you concentrate better. Okay. How do we do that? We focus on our breath. Okay. So that's the short version. I got people just walking in behind me. So again, look at the mindfulness of the breath. That is my instructions to all of you. Okay, especially if you have ADHD, your monkey mind, intrusive thoughts, all that shebang that I previously discussed. So practice mindfulness through the mindfulness of the breath, also known as anapanasati. Is it over here? That book's over here, right here. Anapanasati, anapanasati, and it will help you concentrate better. And with that, your life just you're less likely to make mistakes, less likely to get in trouble at work, home, school, because nothing more frustrating than people are like, "Hello, why are you not paying attention? Why all these mistakes?" Yeah, that's how you get a demotion. All right, I'd like to end my talk. I know I wanted to sit here longer, but I had people just walking in, so please forgive me, and I will get live with you all soon and answer more questions. Just keep the questions coming. Pick a video, throw the questions. I'll get to them. Okay, promise. May you all be well, be happy, be free, always be healthy.